Free croissants. I own a bakery in town, and every year I shut down my shop for a week to run a stall at the county fair. Despite great sales, I still typically have quite a bit left over, which I happily distribute to people who are in need. Our town is not large, so I recognize each person who visits my stall. But for the last 5 days, I had a mysterious new patron. His skin was dark, his eyes blue, his hair long and silver. He was tall and gaunt, and extremely well dressed, in a tailored suit and a long duster, despite the autumn heat. Our first encounter was brief. He paid for a coffee with change, but I eyed the almond croissants that I am famous for with longing. "Would you like one?" I asked. "On the house, I always make too many."
"Thank you,"
he said, averting his gaze but smiling. I smiled back and said, "Are you here for the duration of the fair?" He nodded.
"I'm an auditor," he said. "I'll be here until noon on Sunday."
"Well then, I will see you tomorrow," I replied. He smiled, keeping his eyes cast down, but smiling brighter. For the next few days, he showed up, and I always had a coffee and an almond croissant waiting. On the last day of the fair, he stopped by one more time, but with a gift, a small box wrapped in brown paper.
"Wear this, please. It would mean the world to me if you did,"
he insisted. I smiled, putting the box in my pocket. I went to pour him some coffee, but when I turned back around, he was gone. That night, I was sitting on my porch, watching the news on my phone as the massive storm clouds moved in. The reporter was interviewing a woman from the next county over. Right after their fair, there had been an unprecedented tornado outbreak. Every single person in their small town of 200 people had been killed, save for her family. The tornadoes were so powerful that the ground was scorched and people were plucked from their basements or cellars. It was utter devastation. Shocked, I walked inside to make myself some tea. The reporter was interspersed with segments from other people who had survived similar storms in our state over the last month. Apocalyptic weather patterns that killed nearly everyone except for a few random people. Just then, I remembered the gift my mysterious patron had given me. Inside the box was a small gold brooch, in the shape of 3 feathers crossed. I pinned it to my label as I heard the first few peals of thunder, and turned back to the news. As I continued to watch all of these segments cut together, my jaw dropped, and my cup overflowed, but I couldn't look away. Every single family that survived, every person left alive, in these towns, were wearing the exact same brooch as me.